Things aren't looking good for Seth Rollins. He's becoming WWE's comeback kid, and he has to prove that he is that again, with a lot on his mind and a lot on his body. In early November 2015, he tore his ACL and MCL. He was forced to vacate his WWE Championship after establishing himself after the breakup of the Shield faction as a true main eventer in his own right. Rollins, though, was able to come back, reclaim, and rebuild. In October 2025, he suffered a shoulder injury, forcing him to vacate his World Heavyweight Championship following a big win over WWE champion Cody Rhodes at Crown Jewel. He was gaining momentum yet again, and the entire Vision faction storyline was built around him, and now it was cut completely short. Now, how does he do what he's done before, but better than he's ever done it before? How does Rollins once again rebuild, reclaim, and this time get revenge? Yes, what is your favorite revenge moment in the history of professional wrestling? And is Seth Rollins going to get his revenge and come back better than ever before? Let us know in the comments below. Let's find out how Seth Rollins could come back to WWE. This is Sportskeeda Wrestling. I'm Kevin Kellum. Hit the like button, hit subscribe, let's get into it. There is little doubt that the Vision group built around Seth Rollins with Paul Heyman was supposed to go at least until after WrestleMania 42, but then right after Crown Jewel, the Vision turned on Seth Rollins in a big way, and that basically writes him off TV to deal with this injury. Now, all signs point towards Seth Rollins maybe not being a part of WrestleMania 42 plans in 2026. So let's work on the assumption that he isn't going to be there in Las Vegas. And if we're wrong, so be it. We kind of hope that we are. WWE talent at any level missing any time due to injury just sucks. Longtime wrestling fans are united in one solid repeating cycle within WWE: the return. Whether it's Edge's miraculous Royal Rumble return at the 2020 Royal Rumble, CM Punk blowing the roof off the Allstate Arena at Survivor Series in 2023, or Daniel Bryan's triumphant return to in-ring action after a forced retirement in 2018. We love a comeback story. Seth Rollins has done it before, but now he has a different motivation built in, and that brings us to the reason why he has to come back. The clout-chasing perpetrators of kayfabe reasons why he's not in action: the Vision, the faction he brought up. Yes, the Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker who put him down are setting themselves up to be two big main event superstars in WWE during Rollins' absence. Bronson Reed recently beat Roman Reigns. Yeah, acknowledge that. Braun Breaker has been labeled a future world champion since his days in NXT. It's probably time to give these members of the Vision a makeover, maybe with a new name like Austin Theory joining the mix, or Brock Lesnar as something of an unofficial leader. The idea of someone like Brock Lesnar leading a faction may sound weird, but it could work if done right. Rather than using Brock Lesnar the way they usually do, WWE needs to go all out to make sure that his monstrous presence in the group is for one reason and one reason only: to elevate the three younger superstars. In that regard, having them be under Brock's long, monstrous wing is the perfect way to set up the story for months to come. You don't need Brock Lesnar there every single week, appearing frequently, and apparently that's not something you're going to get out of Brock Lesnar anyway. In fact, you can have his presence be so limited that he just needs to be there between Survivor Series and WrestleMania, and that's when things start to blow up. The Vision group can completely dominate under Brock, but the underlying tensions between him and one Braun Breaker must be evident. And just like that, you least expect it, Braun Breaker and the rest of the Vision turn on Brock Lesnar. It's going to make Lesnar look a bit stupid because it will end up being the third time that he has been betrayed by Paul Heyman. The conniving wise man Paul Heyman will be oblivious to the fact that the three younger, hungry superstars were plotting against Big Baddie Lesnar, and instead of getting his ass kicked too, he loses the endorsement of the Vision, who decide they don't need him anymore. Come WrestleMania, you can finally have the dream match of big men: Braun Breaker versus Brock Lesnar, with Breaker beating the Beast incarnate clean. You don't need to be a technical classic here. Give these two men 10 minutes and a referee, and bang! You can go back to WrestleMania 33 in 2017 when Brock Lesnar and Goldberg gave a lesson on how to make a big impact with just a few minutes and still have a memorable match. It can be a classic example of less is more and chaos and destruction to be present with 600 seconds of a match or more. It doesn't matter. Let these guys wreck everything around the ring and just decide, wow, Braun Breaker is the one who got to survive it. Now we can hear some of you complaining he's only there for a little bit, but he's a part-time player. He's still Brock Lesnar. What can you get out of him for a short period of time that is effective? Length does not equate quality. Here's an example of that. Sami Zayn recently proved himself to be one of the best recent WWE US champions. Didn't have the title for a long time, did an open challenge with it, and really lifted other people up and lifted the title up in the process. Brock Lesnar can be just as effective as a leader of a faction for only a few months. If the goal is to use him to elevate other superstars, that's all that matters. Lesnar is angry after this loss at WrestleMania and wants to avenge it. He lingers in the weeks afterward, but his rage blinds him to a big attack by all three members of the Vision that lays him out and has him carted off in an ambulance. This angle plays into the continuing ruthlessness of the Vision to take a name and truly diminish Lesnar in a physical feat that could be replayed over and over. Now, just as you think Braun Breaker, Bronson Reed, and Austin Theory are on top, burn it down! Rollins storms to the ring in a shocking way to prevent Breaker in a consequential championship contender scenario, keeping him away from the main event and re-establishing the real story. Rollins' revenge. I don't know, give him a flamethrower. Play up that whole burn it down over the top element. In the current timeline of things, this would put us around June or perhaps July. In the weeks that would follow, Rollins' revenge tour would continue as he outsmarts the numbers game that the Vision has been using against everyone in their attempt to once again put him back in the hospital. He also knows that eventually he can't do this on his own. And at SummerSlam, he needs a tag team partner in a TLC match. That partner is someone who also hates the Vision. That's right, you get the enemy of my former enemy is now my current enemy, so now we're together and we're a superpower team. We're Seth Rollins and Brock Lesnar, and we're going after Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed at the biggest show of the summer. Rollins and Lesnar get their revenge in a show-stealing affair, but Braun Breaker gets the solace of escaping this hardcore street fight scenario with the protection of maybe not eating the pin. That allows you to do Rollins and Breaker riding out a series of matches into late 2026, maybe having supporting roles by Becky Lynch, and Paul Heyman could finally return to the entire scenario and say after the aforementioned tag team match that he was the one who was always behind turning the Vision against Seth Rollins and then turning the Vision against Brock Lesnar, and whether or not he's being honest, it doesn't matter because it's Paul Heyman and he's always sleazy and manipulative. The only reason he acted indifferent to allow the Vision to take him out was because he didn't want to make it obvious what he was doing, betraying Rollins and Brock Lesnar. Sure, Paul. This might surprise some of you who are just leaning on the future of WWE and Seth Rollins being the past, but Rollins, with the return from injury, the redemption, the revenge, he needs this more to reintroduce himself as a babyface once again. That is the revolution, the cycle of the wheel in WWE. Again, if the story is told right and it makes sense and the eventual goal is getting a big payoff for Braun Breaker on the later dates, those will come. WWE needs to go with a long-term storyline, and this one would be built in, while also pushing newer stars. Pushing stars simply doesn't mean wins and losses. It means critical TV time, positioning a talent to be more meaningful when they win or lose. Braun Breaker and company having to deal with the fiery revenge of Rollins and the depth that it means to play off of that would show a new dimension in what they bring to the table, and not being a human action figure that can crush all the toys in the toy box. Thank you for watching. Make sure you subscribe to Sportskeeda Wrestling for more videos just like this.